Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Algo. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. In the description below, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Once in the general chat area, just have mentioned member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out. Okay, so with Algo, this top structure here has gotten quite messy. And basically, I'm still looking at the potential that we actually did complete a five-wave move over here. And if this is the case, effectively what we could have is two possibilities. Um, we could form this move here, this ABC, as a B wave, and then actually that this could actually look to push up one more time from this location. However, it is also possible that this could then form A wave, we form a B wave to the upside, and then actually look to break down for this deeper retracement area, which we've been talking about for a while, this 20 cent 36 to this 1775. So effectively, that's what I'm looking at within the structure currently. Um, with this start of this five-wave move to the downside, it is either the start of a trend or effectively this could just be a five-wave structure um, to complete the C wave, like I said. So this is a typical target zone for that C wave, this 2407 to this 2147. So this previous A wave point here would actually be quite nicely lined up with this 2305. So we could be expecting a reaction from there. Whether that reaction is just a retracement to the upside and then actually look to break down again, we'll have to wait and see. We're also going to go over some potentially bearish options and bullish options within the structure. But effectively, what we could argue is that if we do complete into this zone, we could actually look for a C wave to the upside still. So this is something we just need to be aware of. Like I said, it could potentially also break to the downside. So we'll have to give it a bit of time and see what happens off the back of this. If we do find support in this zone, it is possible that we could potentially have a move up towards this 37.48 at a one-to-one of the A wave. However, we need to also bear in mind that, like I said, this could just be the first part of a corrective move where we form this as an A, we come back up for a B, and then we actually look to reject the downside. So that's basically, this is looking for the upside potential. So this would be looking at the fact that potentially we've completed into this low point and we are looking for that push to the upside. So whether this is an ABC or alternatively a 1, 2, 3, there is potential here to start a trend to the upside, though we don't have enough information for that, and it's less likely in my opinion. A corrective structure as an ABC to the upside, however, would still be possible and would still keep us within that within the idea of that ending diagonal that we had talked about previously, as well as some of the other bearish options. So that was basically the one way we're looking at this move to the upside. The other way we were looking at this move was effectively looking at it as a WXY to the upside, and then we would have to argue that within this structure, we were looking actually for an ABC, but we didn't get that. So we would have to then change the structure slightly if we were going to look at this. And we'd have to call this a WXY in here, where this is effectively an A, this is a B, this is a C. So the main reason I wasn't doing that is because of the fact that this does look so much like a five-wave move. But if we move that A wave to this point here, effectively we can argue we have a three-wave structure and that this move actually just completed slightly later on. So this is something that can actually be completed. The problem is if we do have this as a WXY pattern, what this would then indicate is that this could potentially either be fourth wave or potentially we could have a connector wave here forming, which could actually look to push down to this 1062 at a one-to-one. So this is just something we've got to keep in mind here, that if we do actually start to break down from this point, we could actually look to take out these lows and continue this trend to the downside. So the one, like I said, that one-to-one target would be that 1066 off of the current structure. It once again, if we do look at this as a corrective move here, there is potential that we could look to find support lower down. That support zone we'd be looking out for would be this 50% at 2190 to this 786 at 1829. But for as long as we hold above as long as we hold that support zone we talked about for that C wave, it is also possible, like I said, that we could just move to the upside from there. So we need to keep that in mind within this structure. Uh, the 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 way that we were looking at this is I want to see what happens after this five-wave move. Basically, if we've completed this five-wave move to the downside, I'm going to actually bring it on here. Let's turn all this other stuff off. and breakdown. The way I'm currently looking at this effectively is as a 1 2 1 2. This is actually over here. I've got that marked up wrong. Effectively, then we'd have this as a 1 2 3 4, and potentially looking for this fifth wave to the downside. So, this fifth wave target area off of where we currently have come up to would actually be this 2412 zone to this 2351. If we do start to break down deeper, this would be my initial target for that. And then I'd be looking for further evidence that we have this additional fourth and fifth. So these should line up pretty much off of this box area, this the middle line of this typical area. Effectively, what this would indicate is that we would get this additional fourth and fifth. So we need to see. Sometimes we might get extension within this, which might push it down slightly lower, which would actually drag this third wave lower down. So we'll have to just give it a bit of space and see what happens. But effectively, if we do move up across this 26, 29, we would invalidate the potential of counting this the way I have it. And what I would be then looking for is this orange box area. We move back into this 2868 to this 2707. We can see that golden pocket's right in this consolidation zone again. If we did move into this area, effectively what we could look to do is actually look to reject to the downside, and a 1-to-1 would actually bring us down to this 2273. And that would just be looking at this move. If we invalidate this five-wave structure, then we'd have to just look at this as a corrective move to the downside. So once again, if this is a corrective move like this, it is possible that we can then argue that this is potentially the start of a move to the downside, and then we'd get an additional leg like this. Alternatively, if we do find support in this zone, we can still argue that potentially this is just a more complex move here, and that actually we could still see that leg to the upside, though we want to see it prove itself. These are some key areas. It is possible that we could come back down here and retest this channel line as well if we are going to move away, which is currently sitting at directly below us, 2245. So that would also be an interesting zone. So we can see if we do get this five-way move to the downside, that would bring us into this zone of this channel. So that'll be interesting to see whether we hold that support zone and then actually look to push to the upside again. If we do complete down in a five-wave structure or even as a ABC, what we'd be then looking for is this retracement to the upside. We want to see whether that gets that rejection. If not, if it starts to develop in five-wave structure, then we can argue that potentially we have a completed move and we could look for that ABC. But the second, if we do form a five-wave move here, we'd have to see the retracement, and then basically this next wave here would be the one that would give us a confirmation of a bigger move to the upside. If it doesn't, what this could just form is, like I said, another leg to the upside here, and then actually look to break down one more time. And we'd have to be careful if we do complete this five-wave move that this doesn't turn into a bigger impulse, because like we've gone through in the previous video, there is the potential that we were looking for a fourth wave where we currently are, or alternatively a diagonal. So, there's not enough confirmation yet that this is completed. What we'd want to see is, if we're going to count this as a five-wave move here, we'd want to see this move come to the downside here as a flat, or potentially, like I said, extending out and becoming a bit more complex correction, and then having that additional push to the upside. If we fail to develop that, we'll have to just look at this as a complex correction into this zone, and then effectively that could mean that this move to the downside that is starting here will be the start of a bigger downtrend. So we just need to be careful with this structure. Like I said, we start losing these lows of this 2290 and this lowers end here of this 2078, then effectively our last sort of zone of support that I'd be looking for would be this yellow box. But if we start to form bigger five-wave structure here, it becomes more likely that actually we're going to go down one more time and set a new low. And then basically, once we start to get the structure forming here, we can get a better idea of exactly where that will go. But for the time being, that is all I'm seeing. So I'm going to keep the video short and leave it there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Everyone, have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next one.